back to the Early Learning Centre, and this is Wallington Filming. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to tackle a featured wall such as this. I'm going to be using a multitude of apparatus, i.e. straight edges and cutting tools, to show you how I go about cutting the paper top and bottom, and how to go around the light switch, etc. when papering, which is pretty similar to going around a plug as well. So sit back and enjoy this video on how to paper a featured wall. But before we carry on, I want to give a big shout out to Richard at Prestige Decorating Supplies for giving me a nice box of goodies that will enable me to paper this feature wall with prestige. Let's have a look what he sent me. So yeah, here we are, Prestige Decorating Supplies. What a guy, good old Richard. So he sent me a box of goodies. A couple of them are Axis, well, it's all Axis gear. Got a seam roller there, look. Lovely silicone finish, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? That's for doing down your seams, in case you didn't know. If one starts popping up and giving you a ball ache. Yeah, seam roller, lovely. You got your Axis wallpaper, smoother, beautiful. Hey, lovely. Good bit of kit that. I use these all the time. That's quite a lot, that. Nice bit of kit. And they sent me a multitude of goodies, Pro Finish Mini rollers and some Axis decor gloves. You're gonna laugh at that. I don't know what that's all about. Anyway, I'm sure it'll come in useful for something. Thing for stirring your paint, I do believe. All Axis gear. Paper powdering one, trim and smooth. Another good handy bit of kit for me, that is. Lovely. Blades. Oh, I'm going to use that. I think I'll use that now as well. Mind you, I want to use that as well. 4-inch brush. He's a lad, isn't he? And I tell you what, he sent me 2 pair of these scissors. I'm using one in the kitchen, to be fair, and they are bang on, mate. They are a good pair of scissors. They are ultra sharp tip, Axis. Look, good bit of kit they are. Can't moan at them. Can't moan. And some roller sleeves. So yeah, there you go. I am going to use some of this kit to paper this feature wall. So yeah, much appreciated, Prestige Decorating Supplies. Keep it up, Richard. Don't be shy. Send any freebies at any time, Richard. Any time. You know, you don't have to wait. Just stick a load in the post, mate. Do you know what I mean? They always come in handy. As you see, we're going to do this wall, this feature wall, and we're going to go round the room and do the bottom section of this room in the same paper. There's a section there that we're not going to do at the top, but this is the main feature wall, and yeah, that's what we're going to do with him. Now, unfortunately, it is paste the wall again. I do feel that a lot of the good quality papers nowadays are going down that line where it's just paste the wall. Nothing wrong with it. You might find it a little bit easier to paste the wall than paste the paper on a papering board. But yeah, this is it. Now then, this has been papered previously in the insulation paper, and it's got lining paper going horizontal across the insulation paper. Now, one thing you've got to do before you start papering a feature wall, and that is size the wall, which means paste the wall in the paste that you're going to use on the paper, and if you can, let it virtually dry or completely dry on the surface that you're going to paper. Because if you paste that wall, right, on just a painted surface, what could happen is, by the time you get halfway down, that paste on that wall is drying and it's not going to adhere to the finished product. What will start happening is it'll start soaking it into the wall and drying as you're coming down with the paper. So to eliminate that, size wall, paste the whole wall, right, paste the whole wall and let it dry, and then when you come to put the paper on, paste the section that you're going to put the paper on, right, and put your paper on, jobs are good. Because you don't want it drying and soaking in to the surface before you finish papering. So this is completely dry now, and we're ready to start putting this paper on the surface. What I've done is I've measured the wall, got my centre point there, as you can see, and what I'm going to do is put my paper there, slightly over that line, because I don't want to see that pencil mark, do I? So slightly there, 1, 2, 3. So I'm going like 3 at the side, and I think there's a bit at the ends as well. And then we're going to follow down with the base as well. Right, so I put 2 lengths of paper side by side, so basically you can see the mismatch. That's where it matches up, just there, and we're looking at about 30cm mismatch on there. Now, it does say 64 on the paper, so we'll see what happens as we go along. But with the first length, I'm just going to put the first length on and go somewhere near the top. I don't have to worry about anything going out of line on the ceiling line if it goes down on one side of the rope, because the pattern's that in your face that I don't think you're really going to notice if half a leaf goes missing at the other end. So yeah, there you go. That's what it's going to look like. There's all my bits and bobs under my paste table. Yep. My paper from B&Q. Luxury wallpaper. Oh, lovely. Yeah, so there's that. Bit of kit. Now there's me heavy duty ready mix wallpaper paste. I do thin that down slightly because it's like really thick and hard to work with. There's my other scuttle. So I'll be using the brush and that roller there. I've just put some paste on that roller just so it wets the sleeve up a bit. First length coming this way, it's pre-sized, so the wall's been pasted already in the same paste. It's bone dry. We're going to paste a section now where the first length's going to go, but it won't soak in and start drying as we go down the wall. What you've got to remember is, because you're pasting the wall and not the paper on the pasting board, right, you have got to literally paste where the paper's going to go. So you might have to go, if you've got like a dado rail on here, you might have to go onto the dado rail with the paste a bit, and probably onto that coving at the top with the paste a bit, because you don't want to be putting the paper up and there's a dry spot. So I get the So we're going to get the paste, just get that coving just a little bit, like so. Paste around the, I've got pictures on this wall, so make sure you get the paste around there, around the screws or whatever. Paste at the bottom. I'm just doing one length at a time. I use a roller, 12-inch roller. Just go over that straight line with the paste. Look, just go over there like that. Right, that's ready for my first length now. With my paper, my first length, I want to waste as little as possible. Obviously, there is a match. Because of the random design of that silver colour in the yellow, I don't really think you're going to notice. If the coving's not sitting dead level and you start with half a leaf there, and with a 0 leaf there, you're not going to notice that. So I'm going to just go fairly close to the top. I'm going to just put my paper on the floor. Paper's on the floor, the roll's on the floor. I'm trying to do this the same way as if you guys are going to be doing it, yeah? So I'm going to go up there, leave myself about ½ inch, get it on the line. Don't stretch or force the paper. Then I got me wallpaper smoother. I don't know whether I'm going to be better off with a brush actually. I might try a brush as well. It's a bit of a rough feel to that. Now I've got 2 screws here that I need to overcome, so I need to get my knife, get the screw and just cut a slit on there in a like cross form. Like so. Same there. I'm just going to try this brush. What I find with this is, because you've got like a flock effect on here, it's not too bad. You don't want to be scratching the paper though, do you? Trying to figure out which one feels better, to be honest. Not too bad. what I'm going to use is this straight edge. And basically what I'm going to do here is put that So what I'm doing now is just put my straight edge either end, and I've got to cut through it with the blade. Must make sure the blade is sharp, otherwise it's going to get jagged. Like so. You can either use one of these and finish off by just giving it a light wipe over, get rid of any excess paste. Like so, especially on that coving where I've got it there. There you go, first length up, happy days. Easy as that. All I'm going to do now is follow the pattern on at the top. But before I do that, I'm just going to put this bottom section on. If you haven't got a dado rail going across like this, dead straight forward, straight from the top down to the bottom, cut the top and the bottom, wipe the paper, simple as that. Right then, because of the nature of the paper, I'm having to use a multitude of straight edges to cut the paper. I'll give you some pointers on this. Right, number one, I've been using this, but because it's a lot softer than one of these old ones I've got here, that's really stiff. That's got a bit like a bit siliconified, but I mean it's plastic. That cuts easy with a blade if you go offline. That's a bit better. I'm also having to use that at the top, but I'm struggling to use that on that bottom because I can't see where my blade's going. Do you know what I mean? So I'm using a multitude of straight lines to get me desired finish. So I'm going to show you now me papering some more. Using a multitude of straight lines to get that finish. But yeah, it looks alright so far, doesn't it? Right then, first things first is I need to determine where it's going to match. So I'm just going to offer my paper up. And I know that that wants to go approximately there. That's where it matches up. So I've only got that section there to cut off, but because it's such a small piece, I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to place a wall, match it up and cut it off at a later point. Like I say, the easiest way to do it is put the whole roll on the floor and tack it up, match it up, then cut it after. So I'm going to get this pasted. Alright, just take it up from the floor, find the match, which is there. It is crucial to get that match perfect without twisting and forcing the paper. It's got to flow right. That's too low. That's it. Right, I've got 2 more screws here, so I've got to sort them out as well. You can just butt it up nicely like that, you're alright. Screws here. I found this is about the best way to check for air bubbles and flatten it out, but you have got to be a bit gentle with this. So what I'm doing now is just making sure that the pattern all lines up nicely, all the way down, as I smooth it. You know, if you got a slight gap, just do that, just butt it up with your hand just like that. And a good way to check if there's any air bubbles in is just lightly rub your hand over it, like that, and you can feel with your hand. That seems pretty good to me. Bit of an air bubble there, you see. Right, so I need to cut this top section here. And what I'm going to use, for the top, I'm going to use this. So I need to get it lined up exactly where the other paper is. And then lined up on the other side where I want it to go. Sharp blade. There you go. Right, so I'm going to use this straight edge here again. So I need to get it dead level on that piece of paper there, then exactly where I want it to go on the other side. Sharp blade. Take it steady. Must have a sharp blade for this. Job's a good one. There you go. Check them joints. Pasted that bit of wall, and I have gone onto this paper with the paste just a bit, so I'm 100% sure this paste right up to the edge. Got my paper on the floor, and all I'm going to do with the pattern is put it up to there so I can see the pattern. Well, this is what I did on the first length. I just put this length up to the pattern of the existing paper, went underneath, and that should give me that bit to cut off, the same width as the dado rail. But now I'm on the second length, all I've got to do is match it up to the existing. Like so. What I need to do is just cut these two screws. There's a bracket that goes over there, so it's not so bad. Make sure it all matches up, which it does. Just smooth it out, make sure there's no air bubbles in it. I'm having to really do it gently because of how the paper's made. I'll show you that in a minute. It's got like a bit of a flock effect on it, and if I do it too hard, it'll damage the face of the paper. Here's the paper close up. You see how it's got that like flock effect there. Now then, when you try to smooth it out, if you don't use the brush and use like a caulking board, you got to be careful that you don't scratch this off. I have noticed with the process of papering this wall that, yeah, it will scuff it off if you're not careful. But if it's a flat paper without this raised stuff on it, then it's not a problem. You can go up and down with your caulking board dead quick, you'll be alright. Running that under there like that. Right, what I'm doing with this cut is, I'm not going to use that because it's difficult for me to see where I'm going to cut. So I'm actually using this old caulking board. And all I do is get exactly lined up to the existing, sharp blade, pushing it up to the underneath of the dado rail, like so. And that gives me my cut, as you can see, nice straight edge. Right then, on this bottom section, because I've got that rad pipe in the way, I need to measure where this paper's coming to. So I need to be cutting a little bit off. So I'm just going to go about a centimetre past where it's got to go. Mark at either end. Get my scissors from Prestige Decorating Supplies, my Axis ones. Beautiful scissors, these are absolutely sharp and lovely. Dead sturdy as well. So, there's my mark and there's my mark. I'm struggling to cut it on the wall because of that pipe in the way, so I'm just going to get the scissors how sharp they are. Cut it like so. That allows me to get that there. Yep, it's good for it. Just try and scribe a line in there. Like so. It's going to be a bit. What I'm going to do is cut this bit with the scissors. I'm just going to pencil it. Sometimes when you're doing this papering, you have to, you can't cut the paper the same all the time because of obstacles in the way. There you go, right behind there. And then just sponge it down, getting the excess paste off. Bit of a pencil line on there which comes off with a sponge. Right, bonus. That's where my rad bracket goes, just there. That's about it. Right then, boys and girls, as you can see behind me, that section there, I've got a cut. I've also got the light switch to go round. Yeah, so there it is. Yeah. And there's also a little piece just there that I've got to put in. So what I've had to do is match the paper up on the wall. So I just took a length of paper up to the top, to the bottom, matched the pattern up, marked it where I've got to cut it. So I've not got like shitloads at the top and shitloads at the bottom to get which will get in my way. So now I've got to cut that and go around the light switch, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Right then, so here's my length of paper, right? The width on that wall is 25 centimetres, right? So I've also allowed a small piece, about 1 centimetre, to go around the edge on the wall. So I need to cut this at 25 centimetres. So I'm just going to get my tape measure on here, pencil, yeah, this is how we do it, 25 centimetres, and run a line of 25 centimetres all the way down the length of the paper. Like so. Then what we do is we just put a pencil mark like that, so we know that's the cut. You must make sure you're cutting the right side of the paper. Obviously when that goes up, this edge here is what I'm matching to. So don't forget that. Then I've got to cut down here with a pair of scissors. Because I don't want to be messing about with this great big piece at the side, do I? Using my scissors from Prestige Decorating Supplies. Brand new, sharp as a razor. There's a good one. That's the bit I want, I hope. Right, for my next trick, we're going round that light switch. So I've got to loosen the light switch off. Make sure your circuit breaker is switched off for your lights, either downstairs or upstairs lights. You don't want to be loosening that switch off and you still got live power behind it, do you? So make sure your power is switched off to your lights. Then proceed with the job. Light switch. Loosen it off. Don't take the screws out all the way, just get it loose. What the object is to get the paper behind the switch. So you just need to loosen it off. Stuck to that a little bit. Just got a bit of paint on the switch, so I'm just painting paper on the switch, so I'm just getting it off. Yeah. Just get it loose. So you got about 5mm gap going round. Yeah. There you go, just loose. So I'm going to put that bit of paper up there, and when I get to this, I'm going to show you what I do. There it is, look, just loosen it off about that much. I think it's about 5mm. Keep the screws in. Okay? Right, I'm down to the light switch. I'll just show you, look. Hold on. There's the light switch. Yeah. It's all lined up, it's all matched up. Now what I need to do is find the 4 corners of the switch. And that's simple. You just, there it is, look. There it is, there's one. So just mark it with a pencil, right on the edge. Well, not on the edge where it's going to be visible, so there's what, 2, 3, hold on. Very difficult to do when you're trying to video it. So there's your 4 pencil marks here. Then I'm just going to get to the, lift that paper up. I'm just going to, hold on, get to the centre, which is about there. Sharp blade in there. Just run it to that pencil mark. Same there. In across. Like so, yeah? See? There you go. Now then, you can do here is line it back up, line the paper back up to the pattern, yeah. Do realise this paper is taking me about 3 times longer than it should do, but anyway, And you want to get it like that. Like so. So that's your line. So you want it like that. Now, that's too much to start pissing about trying to get it behind the switch. So what you want to be doing is trimming a good portion of it off with your Axis Decor scissors. Bum, bum, bum. Now, just trim it off as straight as you can. Now I'm supposed to do this. Bloody camera in the way, don't I? Right, so. Now don't forget, we've got that loose, haven't we? So you just got to slowly tap this in like that. Yeah? Be careful, you don't want to damage the paper. Underneath. There you go, set in. Like I say, make sure your power's off. And it's as simple as that. And then don't screw that back until the paper is dry, fully dry the next day. Yeah. And then continue on trimming your paper. But you notice with that, I've let that come round about just between 5 and 10 mil, come round the edge, because I've got to do that strip there. But that's how you do the switch. Look, it's loose. Jobs are good. I tell you what, no end to my talents, no end.
are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. Hanukkah, oh Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance the hora. Gather around the table, we'll give you...
Right then, boys and girls, there you have it. Hope that's gave you a little bit more in-depth knowledge on how to go about papering a featured wall. As you can see, I have done extra papering in this room. This fireplace, chimney breast here and all round the bottom. I think you'll agree, looks pretty good, decent paper. There is another video I did earlier on similar sort of thing, how to paper a featured wall. A little bit more in depth, so I'll leave the link in the description below. Probably going to check that out. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, notification bell. New video coming out every week on a multitude of things, including like daily life as a painter and decorator on building sites, etc, etc. So yeah, good videos on the channel. I don't know how many there is now, must be 500-600 videos, so plenty to keep you going. You can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. All you gotta do is Google Wallington Filming Candleman and it'll all come up there. Please bear in mind though, if you don't have any sort of history on those platforms, I probably won't accept you. I need to see big list of frames, big list of pictures. Don't bother if you've got a private account because I'll just delete it. I want to see who I'm adding to my social media. Not just any Tom, Dick and Harry, as you can well appreciate. So yeah, that's about it. Check the rest of the videos out. Some great stuff there. Funny, interesting, educational. And I hope you found this video helpful on how to paper a featured wall. Until next time, keep the flame burning. Take care of the pennies and the pounds will look after themselves. Oh yeah, bye Tom.